You can draw this in Procreate. Today we're conjuring up a cute little black cat, a glowing pumpkin, and a starry night sky. All inside Procreate. I will show you an easy and fun way to create this Halloween cartoon illustration in a step-by-step tutorial, all in real time. Grab your iPad, light a pumpkin candle if you dare, and let's make some magical art. Ready to get spooky? The canvas is 2048 pixels by 2732 pixels. Is the default screen size for the iPad Pro 3rd Gen. Let's get started! I actually like to sketch on it, so I'm gonna pick my preferred sketching pencil. I like to do blue with the peppermint or Procreate pencil. I'll do Procreate today. So let's just start sketching. I'm gonna do a black cat with a pumpkin. So our cat will be the star, will be more like in the middle, and it will have its tail tucked in front of him, in front of it. We'll do a pair of big pointy ears. And then I also like to have a pumpkin a bit more upwards so we can tell it's behind the cat. Somewhat like this. And this is the pumpkin stem. I kinda want to make it bigger. So we select everything with the lasso tool and make it bigger. Okay, let's start sketching the eyes. You can hold a finger on the screen with your other hand, and then it will make you do a perfect circle. And then we can just move things around. I'm gonna make a small mouth and some big whiskers. Then we're gonna have a moon around here. The sketch does not have to be perfect, and we're gonna do some stars, so I'm just gonna make some real quick just to have an idea. Under the pumpkin I'd like some fall leaves, so I'm gonna do a quick sketch of some random fall leaves, and our little cat is just standing over them like cats do. If I sit, I sit. I'm sketching the iris as well because it looks really weird without it. And we're also gonna do a face for our pumpkin, something like this. And this. Okay, I'm liking the sketch. So now we're gonna ink. This one I'm gonna ink with the tinderbox. Let me see. Yeah, this is a good one. Let's just do black the black is black. And we already have some stabilization, you can see here on streamline. And in stabilization you can see the amounts. This makes it so your line is not as irregular. It helps you do curves and straight lines easier. Okay, we have another layer, very important, and we start inking. So for some of these angles, I feel like it's easier to change the illustration orientation, as you can see. So it's easier for us to draw. It follows more naturally the direction of our wrist. And we do spiral for the tail, and we can go up to the back. I actually did not like that. Can go backwards with a touching with 2 fingers. Let's do it again. A very more smooth. Okay, it's looking better now. And for this type of parts where it joins, you can simply smooth it out like so, and now it looks better. I'm also gonna do the small mouth and the eyes. It's easier to do a couple of strokes overlapping and then make it a perfect circle. We touch and it's perfect, and we do it again and it's perfect again. Here when it joined, it created a bit of a different width, but we can just clean that up real quick. And if you're unhappy with the result, like these 2 eyes look a bit different, no problem, we can just duplicate it. So we take this one, we select it, and we can delete everything. Oops. And then with the eye that we did like, we're gonna do this, then here on copy paste, and we can move it. Now it's gonna be the same. I'm gonna flip it horizontally, and then as you can see, it got pasted on a different layer. I'm gonna group them and then flatten, so it's back on the same layer as before. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the pumpkin. This is the stem. Big curvy lines. And the face, I'm actually gonna do it at the end. And I'm gonna do a bit of a dotted line. Just a stylistic choice. Like this. Let's do the leaves. You just follow along what you did on the sketch. You can also add a few details for some leaves like this. And also, you don't have to follow your sketch exactly as you did it. You can always improvise while you're doing it, while you're inking. Here, I'm gonna leave the moon at the end and the stars. I'll actually like to do the face of the pumpkin. I'm gonna do it in a new layer. So I'm gonna follow the shape that we did for the mouth. I'm gonna fill it in completely, and the same for the eyes. And then I'm basically gonna carve out the teeth, one coming from above and the other coming from below. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Then we're gonna do the sky, the moon. Gonna do the perfect circle again. And then I'm gonna do a smaller one. There it is. And then I'm just gonna clean this up and make it have a separation so it's not a full circle. I like the rounded tips here. A little less black on this side. Okay, and the stars I'm gonna leave at the end. Whiskers, I'm gonna do in a different layer just in case. I don't like how they look, but fairly easy. I think I like it thicker, like this. And then we can go ahead and start coloring. For this, which is our inking layer, I'm gonna do a reference. So every color that we fill in, it's going to affect that one. I'm going to fill in those parts. For the color for our cat, we want to do a very dark gray, almost black, but not completely. We can also hide the sketch right now. I'm going to do the same color for the irises. And then on a new layer, we're going to do the pumpkin. So let's pick a nice orange. It's too ochre for my taste, so let's change it up a bit. Yeah, this one's better. Then let's take a light green for the stem, like this. Let's do a dark purple for the background. And now it's looking very Halloween already. Now let's do some colors for the leaves. On a new layer, let's pick some ochres, browns, like this. Let's alternate a bit. And then let's do some dark greens. like dried leaves. And then maybe some bright oranges. And also some yellow. I love the colors of the leaves in the fall. Let's get a brighter ones. A couple of brighter ones here. It's actually too bright on this side, so I'm gonna change to a darker shade. I like that one. Maybe this one. Yes. And here's a little space where our color for the background did not go in. We can move our bar lower. I'm doing it lower like this, so hopefully I will not appear on the reflection too much. If I do, I might have to pixelate my face because it will be embarrassing. Okay. So now let's do the moon. We can fill it out by hand, but we can also make it a reference. Just remember that we can only have one layer be a reference at a time. Like this. I'll actually like the line art for our cat to be a bit more intense. Gonna duplicate, and it's already more intense, but we miss the texture of the brush, so I think it's better like this. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go over, or more like under, certain parts of the cat, so this shows up darker than it is showing right now. The mouth, I like it to be more intense. And I actually think I'll duplicate so we get the strong color on the eyes. But I like the pumpkin to be softer and everything else, so I'm gonna erase this, our lines in the pumpkin, our double lines, double liner. You see how the texture comes through. Okay, now we're gonna do the pumpkin. For the face, I'm gonna do an alpha lock and then paint the pumpkin with kind of the same value, but well, the same tone of orange, but a little bit more on the dark side and more saturated. Let's see. Darker. We need it darker because it's carved in. This is better. We just paint all over the pumpkin. Well, it is just the face. And then to make it pop a bit, let's just take a lighter color and paint it on the edges, like you could see the inside of the pumpkin. For the pumpkin line art, we're gonna do alpha lock on our line art and then pick an orange but a less saturated one. We're gonna go coloring over our line art. I think a darker tone will be better. Yes, this one, it's really nice. Like a dark orange. And we're gonna go over our previous liner for the pumpkin. It will soften. It will soften our drawing. I'm removing some parts that I did not erase previously from the duplicated line art layer. And then I'm gonna do the same color every leaf with a kind of a brown color. We color over it. We just have it alpha locked, so we don't need to go individually over each stroke. We just need to be careful when we're just very close to other strokes that we do not want it to change, like the cats. And in this case, we cannot basically go over the cat because I duplicated its strokes. Okay. I also want to change the color of the stem. So we're gonna paint over that layer. Like this. Okay, looks good. So we're gonna alpha lock the pumpkin. And for this one, I'll actually want to spray paint with the medium nozzle because it gives a very nice texture. We're gonna take the pumpkin color and go for a darker orange. This is a bit too much for my taste, so I'm just gonna do a bit on the edges. And you see the nice tone that is coming up on the underside and on top. And then we're gonna change to a bright yellow and do a bit in the center. I think a lighter yellow will look good. Yes, it looks way more warm and inviting. Okay, it's looking very flat. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same with the same brush, which again is a medium nozzle spray paint, and we're gonna change the color of the background. Oop, we have to have the background in the very back, behind everything. Now let's do something like this. As you can see, our cat's eyes and the white of its eyes is not painted. We're gonna go back to it in a bit. And here we're gonna do a middle tone. Something like this, so there's a faint glow around our cat. Maybe a bit of blue. Very faint glow of blue. And then for the top I actually want a very dark purple. Gonna make it smaller, and we're gonna make it the brush super big. So we get something like this. Okay, let's fill in our cat's eyes. Let's go with white. Oh, what did happen? Why did that happen? It was because I did not have the reference on the inking layer. So let's get it again as a reference. And then, oh, because I'm trying to fill in the reference. Okay, so let's, I'm a bit nervous. So let's do, this is the layer I did for the eyes. There it is. Well, I actually want to do the iris is darker, like this. And it's looking better already. Now for our cat, let's do alpha lock, and with the same spray paint, let's do a bit of a highlight on the top of his head. I think a more neutral tone, look a bit better. Yes, and then on this side also. So it has some lighting now. Good. And I'll do a darker purple around here. Too dark. Let's lower the opacity. Just to make the changing tones more apparent. And I think it's nice. It's looking nice. Okay, so we're almost ready. We're gonna do a new layer to do small little stars. I'll use the same inking brush, tinderbox, with white. And then this is the easiest part. We're gonna do sparkles. Remember to always check your layer. I actually did a new layer for it, and I thought I hadn't. And we're gonna do a lot of sparkles here and there. Maybe some that are kind of like this, so we have some variation, like the twinkling, and then some little dots. Four-way stars. It's looking very cute. What happened with the stem of the pumpkin? Oh yeah, when I painted the overall picture, well, when I changed and added some color to the pumpkin shading, I missed that it was in the same layer, so it got painted over. But we can just go over it again. Let's give it a bit of a brighter tone here. Okay. I also want to make a bit more details on the pumpkin. Maybe a few lines here and there, just so it's not as flat. Darker tone maybe. Yes. This is too dark for the bottom. like this. Looks nice. So now what I like to do before finishing is adding a whole new layer above everything else and choose a textured brush. There are some really good textures like this, and then paint it with the color. I'm gonna do pink, and you see it gives it a bit of a texture, and you would say, wait, what are you doing? So I'm just gonna change the blending. I'm thinking maybe color burn, but we can just try different and see what we like. Color dodge. And remember, you can also slide the opacity up and down in case you like one but it's too intense. I actually like the color burn the most, so I'm gonna put it and go back. So as you can see, it's there. It's like kind of like a texture of cotton paper, the one you use for watercolors. And this is it. This is how you can make a cute little black cat for Halloween. Hope you like this tutorial and see you next time. Bye bye.